Happy Friday, weather fans. This is Hardcore Weather for Friday, September 12th, 2008. I'm Eyewitness News 5 Chief Meteorologist Rick Mitchell. If you're a weather nut like I am, this is going to be a very interesting day because we have Ike coming ashore very late tonight along the Texas coast. The path is going to be very interesting to see what kind of effects it has on the Houston area, Beaumont, those areas. And, you know, even not related to Hurricane Ike, parts of Oklahoma had nearly 10 inches of rain overnight. Oh, my goodness. Let's get to the maps. Okay, this is rainfall. This is rainfall from the Oklahoma Mesonet just since midnight. Look at Fairview, 8.09 inches of rain. Oh, my goodness. Camargo has had 3.25. And you see numerous amounts that are an inch or more. Get up in here near Alva, 3.5 inches, 4 inches in Cherokee, Medford, almost 3.5 inches. This is just since midnight. Let's look at the 24-hour rain totals. And look at that, over 9 inches in Fairview. So some incredible rain amounts. And again, this rain has nothing to do with Ike. It does have something to do with tropical moisture coming in from the Pacific. It is basically a warm, moist conveyor belt of rainfall that continues to fall heavily on western sections of Oklahoma, and that trend should be the same today as well. On the radar view, you can see how the rain, this heavy batch of rain that has been affecting northwestern Oklahoma all night, has moved into Kansas. But look, there's more rain that extends down into the Texas Panhandle, northwest Texas. It's all moving to the northwest. So definitely western Oklahoma is going to be under the gun for very heavy rain the rest of this afternoon on into tonight, while central and eastern Oklahoma, more like kind of a showery pattern where there'll be probably more dry hours than there are wet. And with all of the very heavy rain that's falling, it's no wonder that we have flash flood watches and flash flood warnings that are in effect. Now, yesterday, pretty much the entire state was under some sort of flood watch. Today, you notice that the central part of the state has been carved out of the watch. I'll tell you why. You've got this heavy rain across western Oklahoma from this very moist Pacific air bringing flooding to western parts of the state. Then you have the flood watch that's in effect for what will happen as Ike comes ashore. And I believe central Oklahoma is far enough in between both of these areas, we will not see any flooding in central Oklahoma. So some good news there. This is the QPF forecast for day one, which is basically 7 o'clock this morning through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. And you can clearly see that that heavy band to the west and northwest of Oklahoma City is going to continue. The highest totals up around the Kansas City area, nearly 4 inches of rain. Not a whole lot central and southeastern Oklahoma. And then you start to see the reflection of the rain that will take place as Ike comes ashore in Texas. Now that's again for today and tonight. Let's go ahead and see what the day two is going to be. Now this is Saturday morning through Sunday morning, and this clearly shows the precip footprint from Ike as it comes ashore, East Texas, and then tracks on into far southeastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then a big chunk of Missouri. So again, the metro is in the relatively light area, maybe a half an inch to an inch, but the heaviest rain probably 2 to 4 inches across eastern Oklahoma. And then finally, let's go on and check out day three, which will be Sunday morning into Monday morning. And by that point, all the heavy rain is pretty much out of Oklahoma at this point. So looks like Sunday could end up being a decent day with all the heaviest rain shifting well to the east. Time now to look at Ike as it appears on the visible satellite as of 9:30 this morning. And to me, it looks like it's a little bit better organized. You're seeing a definite eye formation here towards the end of that loop. And you're also not seeing as much dry air entraining into the western side of the storm as you did several hours ago. At last report, still had winds up around 105 miles per hour. It'll be interesting to see when the new advisory comes out if indeed it hasn't strengthened just a little bit. We can pop on some of the winds that are surrounding this hurricane, and you can see generally, as you would expect, across Louisiana they are east winds. Across Texas they are northeast and northwest winds as the circulation around this storm. We'll put on some of the wind gusts that are already being felt, and along the Louisiana coast, wind gusts up around 35 miles per hour, so just a little bit shy of tropical storm wind gusts. And in the Texas coast, looks like the strongest one, probably 27 at Galveston. But obviously these are going to be going up considerably as we go through the day. Now this is the very latest 10 a.m. advisory track for Hurricane Ike, and as you can see, the path really hasn't changed all that much. It'll make landfall late this evening, early Saturday morning during the overnight hours, pretty much right over Galveston. Storm surge could be a huge player in this storm as all this water rushes into the bay. Winds will be probably 100 miles an hour sustained, wind gusts maybe 120. The storm then tracks on to the northwest and then arcs back to the northeast. By 7 o'clock Sunday, just a tropical depression over northwest Arkansas. For Oklahoma City and surrounding areas, central Oklahoma, the main effects from this will begin during the day on Saturday, but especially Saturday evening. But by Sunday morning, the bulk of the storm is to the east, and it wouldn't surprise me if a good chunk of Sunday features sunshine. Let's look at the latest NAM. This is from 12Z this morning, which is 7 o'clock. And it initializes Ike down in the Gulf of Mexico. Watch with time here. By lunchtime, then by 7 o'clock this evening. Notice how it keeps the precip confined to, at least the heavy precip, northwestern Oklahoma, that same tropical train coming up from the Pacific. And so northwestern Oklahoma looks to be still under the gun for heavy rain. Here comes Ike. Looks like it'll make landfall during the evening hours. There's 1 a.m., then on to 7 a.m. Saturday. Not much happening central Oklahoma during that time period, but then as we get to lunchtime, which is 1 o'clock Saturday, Ike is inland, beginning to weaken. Moisture streaming up from the Gulf of Mexico, cold front coming into northwestern Oklahoma, so shower chances increase in central Oklahoma by 1 o'clock Saturday. Now we're out to 7 p.m. Saturday, and you see Ike is over northeast Texas. Now this is according to the NAM. This may be a little too far to the west. The hurricane track is a little farther east, but still at this point we will have a fair chance that we're going to see some showers and storms or some heavy rain in central and especially eastern Oklahoma. There's Sunday morning, the center of Ike over southeastern Oklahoma, and then it rockets off to the east by lunchtime. The center is basically over northern Arkansas, and most of Oklahoma by lunchtime on Sunday is dry. High pressure builds in behind this system, and notice the tight pressure gradient here. We're looking at these isobars. The closer they are together, the stronger the wind field, and that'll be a scouring north wind. And I say scouring because it's going to take all the humidity out of the area. And Monday morning looks great, beautiful high pressure centered over Kansas. We'll have low dew point air in here. Probably a fairly cool start, plenty of sunshine for your Monday, and that is Monday afternoon. So the worst of this will be over with by Sunday morning, according to the... So there you have it. Next week looks like it will be nice, but still, the very thought of Ike coming close to Oklahoma is a little unnerving, but right now it looks like the path is going to be to the east of us. And like I said, we may see heavy rain west and east of Oklahoma City. We may not see much here in the city, but all in all, the weekend, at least the second half of it, will show some improvement. Next week looks pretty nice. Make sure you check out the very latest tonight on Eyewitness News 5 at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. There'll be no hardcore weather over the weekend, but God willing, it'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.